Well, good morning, everybody. Hope you're enjoying this Rocky Mountain spring weather. I know you're enjoying some amazing low vacancy rates here in northern Colorado, so that's kind of a good thing for you all. My name is Beck-Ferkiss. I'm with the Homelessness Prevention Initiative. How many of you have heard of our service? Great. Some of you I know are existing landlords. How many of you have received a check from us? Okay. Well, that's great. We got a sprinkling of people who know us. We have actually been in the community for 10 years. We've been here since 2001, when a study showed that the rental assistance available to most of the people that lived here was not locally feasible. And what I mean by that is that federal standards were set for agencies providing rental assistance that were so high, most of our people couldn't make it, and they weren't getting rental assistance, and they were going directly to their churches and community areas and saying, hey, we need help. And when Interfaith Council looked at that, because all the churches were like, hey, what's going on here? They found the standards were not acceptable for our community. The standards for the federal level basically are you need to make twice as much income as you pay in rent, and you need to already have a 3-day notice when you apply for rental assistance. So especially right now where we have a 10-year low in vacancy rates, a lot of our hardworking low-income families really don't want to let it get to that point with you all, okay? They know something happened and they want to make sure that they can be responsible and pay their rent. So they come to us and we talk to them. We have a very focused small program, but what we do pretty well. What we do is temporary emergency rental assistance. So we're looking for families with an income that are normally doing just fine. Something happened. Car repair they didn't expect, somebody's out of work, kid is sick, you know, whatever happens that, you know, takes that situation and takes it from stable to iffy. So if we can help them with about half a month's rent once a year, we have found that in 93% of the cases, 3 months later, that family is still housed. We serve the Poudre School District only. So we're up by Wellington, down by Timoth, but not as far as Loveland. We serve once a year primarily with our basic program, but sometimes we have other programs funded, and currently we do. We have something called the HPI Education Extra program, and that means if a family has already been served by us, but they have a second temporary emergency, again, we really look to see if it's a temporary emergency, and that's our sweet spot. That's where we can do the best help. Then they can take our financial literacy class through Green Path, get some financial literacy counseling, and come back and get a second round. And we do that because we feel that money management really seems to be the underlying cause of a lot of families having trouble. Of course, the other thing is lack of income. And you know, we're all trying to look at that, trying to increase jobs for everybody's sake. So we work in 6 community locations. We opened a new center since I was here last year. And all of our direct service is done by volunteers in these centers. The client calls us, we screen them to see, are you generally in our guidelines? If you are, then you're directed to one of our centers. They get an appointment there. They meet for about half an hour with a counselor, a volunteer counselor who goes over their finances primarily and also does a lot of resource referrals. The base of our clients, what we were created to serve and who we do see a lot of, are paycheck surfers. People that have some money but they're really struggling, you know, pretty much all the time, but they can keep their edge. Over the last 2 years, we've seen a lot of people falling out of middle class, trying to make it on unemployment, trying to, you know, cut back everywhere they can. And for those people, the resource referrals is a huge piece. The other thing our volunteers will do, if appropriate and necessary, is call you guys. They can sometimes call a landlord and just check in. Hey, is our help gonna make a difference? Are you gonna evict anyway? Or I see there's a lot of late fees here. Is there any wiggle room? You know, just kind of try to see if we can make it work. Because it's not good for you guys to have a lot of turnover in your units, and it's really desperate for my low-income wage earners to try to find a new place with the vacancy rate as low as it is. Somebody at the city told me, yeah, our vacancy rate's under 5%, but our affordable housing vacancy rate is 0. And that certainly is what it feels like to a lot of people. And we don't have a ton of units coming online. So keeping people housed where they are is in the best interest of everybody. And as a community, once we let somebody fall into homelessness, we pay. And we pay for all the services necessary to help that family or that individual through that period of homelessness into a home and beyond, because, you know, there are scars with the trauma of homelessness, absolutely. So we're there, Homelessness Prevention Initiative. Prevention is the most important piece of our name. And so we, you know, I guess that's about it. We're pretty focused is what I want to say. I have a couple of annual reports here. I would love it if anybody wants to look a little bit more at our information. I would direct you to this section primarily. This little chart, and I know most of you can't see it, but I'll leave these here, just shows a steady incline in the people that have needed our assistance. And last year we served over 900 families in the Poudre School District area with one-time assistance that in almost all cases help them get past the temporary emergency and keep their housing. We check every once in a while, every 2 years, not once in a while, we do a study and we check back with people at 3 months. This year, for the first time, we checked back with those people at a year. And we found that, of the people we were able to contact, remarkably, it was about the same percentage. 93% were still in their homes at a year. So, and most of those people did not require Education Extra or a second round of assistance from us. Some of those families did indicate they needed assistance from, other family members or were able to get other public assistance, but they were still holding their edge and staying in their housing. And I guess we are the funder of last resort for people who really have either, either already tapped every resource they could, their family, their friends, et cetera, or don't have families and friends to tap. And so, we're really happy to be there. We're really happy to partner with you guys. I know a lot of our clients are referred from their landlords. We are supported by grants and public donations. We would love your support. We would love you to pass on information about us. The best way to tell clients to access is to call 211 at the United Way. They know where we are every day of the week because our 6 centers are open on different days. And they can also help determine right off the bat whether we're the right service for you, or maybe they have some other ideas about services that might work. Another important resource in our community for people struggling is the Sister Mary Alice Murphy Center for Hope. Does everybody know about that? I see some nods. No? Okay, the Sister Mary Alice Murphy Center for Hope, or the Murphy Center, is at Conifer and Blue Spruce. It's close to the food bank, and it is a resource for homeless or nearly homeless people. They have case managers there every day of the week. They have different agencies. Homelessness Prevention is there 2 afternoons a week, and they have different agencies that bring services all under one roof to help people make it through a difficulty in housing and the attendant challenges. They have programs for everything. Disabled Resources is over there. The different medical facilities are there. Different mental health services come into the building. So it's a great resource, something you can check out on the web, or even just go over there and check it out in person. It's a pretty cool place. So this is just a little flyer I brought. I have a lot of them. I don't know if I have enough for everybody. Good tenants and temporary financial emergency equals an opportunity for us to help. And we do that really to help our tenants, and we think it's a service to you guys as well. So does anybody have any questions for me?
You talked about helping, and it's sometimes just half a month or a year. How far does homelessness prevention go in individual cases with grant help? I mean, might you go 3 months or 4 months ever?
Nope. We don't usually have funding for that, you know, unless we have a special program running, which we did last summer. We had an emergency program that allowed for more than 1 month. Typically, it's half a month once a year, another half a month if you do the financial literacy training. Sometimes we can partner with other resources. We're always helping to counsel the client, however, okay, if we give you this much, where are you going to get the rest? And sometimes it's that brainstorming that really, you know, you just have to take the person out of the crisis, sit them down, talk to them, and come up with a solution. And very often we can do that.
You might have said this, but I'm just curious, how are you funded?
Mostly through grants and private donations. We don't take any money from the federal government because then we would be restricted as the agencies that we were here, that we were created to supplement. But we do get city funding. We sometimes get funding through the county. But mostly it's grants and private donations. So, so we'd love you to check us out on the web and see if maybe we are a charity you'd like to support. Also, if you want to check us out on Facebook, make sure you like us. I promise to say that at every presentation I make, and I almost forgot, so thank you very much. Do you have a question?